TOMz.
What's up, Mzansi? What's going on? You guys are tuning in to TOMz, the show that brings you everything that is new and happening in the world of science and technology. Konala Mzansi, and of course on your #1 channel, SABC 1, Mzansi for show.
Namhlanje we'll be discovering the awesome technology behind 3D printing.
Yep.
For hundreds of years, abantu have been trying to find better and quicker ways of manufacturing things, and in Namhlanje, 3D printing is making the dreams of inventors and manufacturers emhlabeni jikelele a reality.
Sabe sithola kabanzi ukuthi 3D printing isebenza kanjani, what kinds of objects can be made from it, as well as the revolutionary developments in printing living organs and food.
Absolutely, and in Yazuguti, we're also going to explore how this technology has evolved over the last 4 decades. Check out how a group of people uses this technology to create devices on demand, and then Luna, as always, a Rato celebrator and Mzansi legend who is making his mark in the South African industry.
Are you ready to start the show?
Absolutely.
Let's go get it.
Find out what 3D printing is all about. Spacedraw. See a real 3D printer in action and all the cool things that can be made with it. It will take other possibilities of 3D printing, how to talk about printing organs and food. Jump back in time with us as we learn about the evolution of this technology. Meet a team whose 3D printing technology is changing the lives of those with disabilities. Explore cool 3D modeling applications and be inspired by helpful career advice from our guests on today's show.
So, 3D printing isebenza kanjani and what can we use it for? We're going to find out from you guys. Check this out.
Nah, I never heard of it. Heard about it, but I'm not really sure what the Angazi ngezwa ngayo, honestly. Normal printing is 2-dimensional, so it's on a paper and you can just see one side of it. But then in 3D printing, I think you can actually touch and feel the object that you're printing. Plastic works. I was watching this TV show the other day and I've heard about the medical uses of 3D printing and stuff. Glasses. I tried clothing. A nice statue of myself, probably in gold or something.
3D printing is the process of making 3-dimensional solid objects from a virtual design. Let's find out. The process of 3D printing is to develop a digital design of the objects that needs to be printed. A computer-aided drafting software to produce a 3-dimensional design. Software is slices the final model into thousands of different horizontal layers. The 3D printer reads every slice and creates the object by printing layer upon layer of material until the object is complete. Different types of materials can be used to print objects, plastic, metal, wax, dijo, and even human tissue. The applications are endless, and 3D printing can be used to create everything from small toys, impahla, parts of buildings, firearms, and organs to pieces of original art. 3D printing has helped to improve the functionality and production of hundreds of companies and individuals kumhlaba wonke. Although some might speculate that these kinds of technologies may replace certain less skilled jobs, it has contributed to the improvement and even the saving of many lives. Now that we have an idea it's time to see a real 3D printer in action.
Somebody said when a process of creating a 3D printed object, about the machine's different parts. Take a look.
Hi, my name is Matthew. I'm a master's student at the University of Witwatersrand. I have been doing some designs for 3D printing. What we have here on the screen here, as you can see, is a stand that we've developed for a mini PC. All your components for an entire PC in one small package like this. All you need to do is connect a screen, keyboard, mouse, you have a computer working. Here we have the stand after it's been printed. This is a prototype. So what we can do is that we can prototype very quickly any design we want on the computer. All we need is a CAD software that can design a 3D animation or 3D design, and we can print it. So the process is, we take the 3D design, we import it into our software that cuts it up into different layers so that the 3D printer will understand. This design is then sent to the 3D printer, which slowly, using plastic, will extrude different layer upon layer to build up a 3D design. And from that, we can pretty much make anything. Our latest additions to our 3D printing. What we have here on the right is a 3D scanner. What is really interesting about this device is that we can pretty much scan anything we want. So if we have, if an artist comes to us and makes a design, he can make it out of clay or whatever he wants, and that can be scanned and that can be taken in, and we can create a 3D model of that. What it does is, it has two lasers, a laser from the left and right, and that is projected onto the object, and this object will slowly rotate. And in the middle you have a camera. This camera will pick up the laser beam on the object, and as it rotates, it'll create a point cloud in the computer. And from this, it'll generate a 3D image. So it makes hundreds and thousands of points in your computer, and from that point, all those points, it'll generate a 3D image. What's nice about this is it just allows you to make pretty much anything. If a small component, any plastic component on something that you have, such as a doll, like it broke or is damaged, you just scan that part, and then you can print it. There's no need to go back to the manufacturer. You can just print exactly what you need. Here we have an example of just scanning a regular mug, and we have a 3D design. And from this 3D design is exactly the same process that we had before. We just put it into the 3D software, it's turned into layers, and we can print it. So if we wanted to, we could print this mug right now.
Wow, I bet you guys will agree that this is one of the coolest technologies on Earth. Well, stay tuned as we explore the amazing impact it can have on people with disabilities. And this Peter Food is about printing food. Don't go anywhere. Siyabuya!
Umesibuya, we see more benefits of 3D printing and explore the idea of printing biological matter.
We're back, and it's great to have you guys along with TOMz on your #1 channel, SABC 1, Mzansi for sure.
Absolutely, and we are learning more about 3D printing. And as we've discovered, this technology allows certain materials to be placed layer on top of layer with a machine until finally creating a solid object.
Sambile sayibona a 3D printer in action, and now it's time to have fun with more printing concepts and that are improving the lives of abantu with disabilities. We're also learning more about the science behind printing organs and food, as well as celebrating one of a legendary South African wire artists.
And as always, let's have a through our Facebook and our Twitter pages. So please do make sure that you let us know 3D printing. Meet an organization that uses 3D printing technology to enable people. Celebrate a South African artist who has taken wire art to the next level, and learn more about the idea of printing organs and food.
Wire art is very popular in Mzansi, and thousands of creations are sold each year. I wonder if you guys know your legends when it comes to this art form. Let's go find out.
The artist who made the statue on Madiba, Cape Town. It's Masimba Mwaza.
Masimba Jefta Mwaza is a South African wire artist famous for his monumental sculpture of Nelson Mandela, entitled Madiba's Ground. Uqale ukuyenza iwire art at the age of 7 as the family could not afford toys for the children. In 1998, he left for Cape Town hoping to catch a break in the coastal city and make a living by selling wirecraft. Usebenzisa chicken mash to create his sculptures and dreams of being known as the chicken mash genius of the world. Namhlanje, this talented sculptor's work is exhibited in Cape Town's 34 Long Street Gallery, as well as many other venues like Mzansi. He also works as an artist for Streetwires, an organization which aims to address poverty and unemployment through wire art. He has won first prize in his category at the Democracy X exhibition in 2004 and has been exhibited at the Brett Cable Art Awards, AMS Give Them Wings, and the Cape Town Design Indaba. The artist has certainly proved himself as a 3D handcraft master.
It's got a good time to pick a group of people about technology to enable those who have lost upper extremities.
We went to go find out some information on the science behind it. Check it out.
My name is Charlton Davids. We are manufacturers of the Robo Beast 3D printer. The inspiration behind the Robo Hand and the Robo Beast 3D printer actually comes from the founder and developer of the printer named Richard van As. Richard van As lost his fingers in an accident, and he went about looking for a 3D printer that could build fingers for him. And this is how the 3D printer came about. He could not find what he needed in the market, so he developed and designed his own one. And this is how the RoboBeast 3D printer came about. Today it is more cost effective. The technology has been simplified, whereas every man on the street can use this. The technology improves the lives of people, especially disabled people and families that have kids without limbs. They can print it for themselves now. Every year a child grows. So as the child grows, he needs different limbs. Over 500 children has already received limbs because of this invention.
Lebitso la ka ke Moses Lakinkge ke berekela RoboBeast ke motšhini o e leng gore o kgona go printa dilo tse e leng gore tsa plastic tse e leng gore o batlo di bona ga o shebelela ka mo le saeteng ka mo go na le ntho e re bitsa re ke filament mare ke plastic e nyane e entsweng ka starch so plastic ena e tsamaya mo piping ena e kena ka mo gare ka mona go na le e moto mo e leng gore ya e pusha gore e kenelle ka mo gare ka mo go na le extruder ke heat bank ya e chisa e etsa hanyane ebe e kgona gore e printe ntho e batlang go e printa ka mo motšhini ona gore o sebetse independent ga o lebella mona re na le boto e re bitsa re ke PC bot program ya gago le ntho tse kaofela di ka mo gare ga boto eno ene mo re na le US cable e leng gore e connected ko botong so o connecta mo laptopong ya gago o e bolela gore ke batla gore e printe eng and then laptop e bolela motšhini o re printe mare ka mo gare ka mo go na le SD card a memory card e leng gore e store information eo and then e be khona go se tsire bo o printa o bo ka khonontsha laptop o printa ka bo yona dintho tse re di sebedisang ka motšhini o mostly ke mega ke dintho tse di standard ke di tshipi tse a o di bona ke plastic ke perspex se ke power supply fela go fa mollo ka mona re na le battery ya 12 volt e leng gore e store mollo gore le ga ile gore di light di atima e khona gore go etsa so mostly ke tshipi le di plastic tse re di berekisa mo motšhining ona plastic ga e printa yana e mo formong e leng gore ine nkare about it's like a liquid form type of a thing ka re ya chiseletswa and ha e chisiwa e ba metsi and motšhini ona go na le tlhogonyana e nyane e leng gore e a e move gore e ye mo kae ka motsotso le di second tse mo kae so ke ka mokgwa e leng gore o berekang ka teng yone ntwena motšhini ona for example gona le mo ne re printa ke game for ya bana fela gore ntho tse o kgona o di square di be hantle motšhini o kgona o printa ntho yona and then like for example ko dikolong if bana ba batla go itse like le ka diphathe tsa batho tsa plastic o ka kgona gore o di printe ka one motšhini ona di vegetables tsa di plastic dilo tse di tshwana le tseo wa kgona gore o ka di printa ka one motšhini ona so le se ke sengwe fela se sentlenyane fela se se nice se leng gore wa se download ko internet o bo khona go printa ka ona motšhini.
The development in 3D printing technology has made it possible to print certain types of food and create working organs. Hona jang arsa merlo utla more about the amazing possibilities of this technology. Ngokusebenzisa edible substances as raw material for 3D printing, different foods can be made in shapes and combinations that were previously impossible. Isn't this fun? Enjoying intricate pasta patterns, custom-made chocolate shapes, and personalized combinations of nutrients in certain foods are now a possibility. This opens up a whole new world of opportunities in menus being used in future long-term voyages to Mars and improvements in the mass production of foods for impoverished populations. 3D printing has also impacted the medical field. 3D bioprinting technology has made it possible for functioning jaws, prosthetics, and even reconstructive parts of a face to be produced. Custom 3D printing technology is expected to find a major impact in dental and hearing aid man-made industries, and it is predicted that within the next 20 years, fully functional human organs would be printed and implanted.
What you guys think about 3D printing in our social session. So be sure to make your mark on Facebook and on Twitter.
Where does the technology behind 3D printing come from? And how can you design your very own 3D creation? So now we get back to TOMz, the best science and technology show. It's all SABC 1 Mzansi for sure.
That is right. And then I'm trying, we're exploring the amazing technology behind 3D printing, a process that has made it possible to create solid 3D objects from a virtual design on a computer screen.
We are seeing how these machines work and all the cool things that can be created with it, as well as how the technology is helping to improve the lives of Batwabangat.
That is right. Soon we'll have our social session about today's show and what we saw on today's show, and as well as exploring a few apps that can get you started on your own 3D ideas.
But for now, let's take a look at what's coming up next. Take a quick journey with us through the evolution of 3D printing and see the final product of a real 3D printing machine. The idea of 3D printing has been around for the but it has only been in the past few decades that it has really become a useful and widespread tool. More about the evolution of this technology.
In 1983, an inventor named Chuck Hull developed stereolithography, a method of successively printing thin layers of a material on top of one another to form a solid object. By 1992, a company called 3D Systems had produced a machine which could manufacture three-dimensional parts overnight. This technology developed rapidly, and by 2002, scientists had manufactured a miniature functional kidney. In 2005, RapRap was founded. This open source initiative produced a 3D printer which could manufacture most of its own components, enabling Abantu to create everyday objects on their own. The first SLS, or selective laser sintering machine, became available in 2006. Lo machine lo usebenzisa laser to fuse materials into 3D products and opened the door to mass customization and on-demand manufacturing of industrial parts and prosthetics. The technology making it possible to print blood vessels, prosthetic jaws, immortal robotic aircrafts, and even gold and silver jewelry. At this rate, the future of 3D printing is incredibly exciting and could change the way we live beyond our imagination.
The final product the 3D printer has made. We will have to retweet them more about the different possibilities of this machine.
I'm TOMz and I'm a master's student here at Wits University. We're working on many PCs for the educational system. What we're trying to do is create the technology that we need here in South Africa rather than import it. So what we're doing at the moment is we're printing stands to support the devices that we're using. This is our sort of finished product. It's got these stands over here which hold everything together. These stands we made right here. They look like this. The time that it takes to 3D print an object just depends on how big it is and how complex it is. As an example, this is quite small and you can do this in less than an hour. But this is a bit bigger and a bit thicker, so this will take around 3 hours. The larger project is intended to create computers or build computers for the South African educational context. At the moment, everything we buy is from China. So every time we need a computer, it's more money that leaves the country and goes to another country. That means that the jobs are in the other countries, and the money, the employment, all those sorts of benefits go to the other countries from here. What we want to do is change that. We think South Africans have the capability to build our own hardware, to build our own software, to make our own computers. 3D printing is really exciting. The possibilities here are huge. In the past, if you wanted to have something made, you'd have to go to a manufacturer, you'd have to get them to quote you, and they charge you a lot of money because manufacturers don't make one or two. So if you had an idea and you didn't have money, you couldn't really do anything about it. But with 3D printing, if you have an idea, you can make it from nothing.
Finally, I will chat with you guys via our social media pages, including Twitter and Facebook. What's up, Twitter spete Ulili P Atiana. She loves the idea of 3D printing, and uyabanga for TOMz for showing it to us. Moving on, spete Uchazleen Otiana. One day she would love to have her own 3D printing, and uyabanga for TOMz for introducing her to 3D printing science. Well, as much as you guys enjoy it, Nathi siyathandwa ukuthi nifundise all about the science and technology esithola la eMzansi khona lapha emakhaya.
Well, William go Facebook yena uthi he would love to 3D print his own designs. Kodwa manje he's still in high school and he can't buy a 3D printing machine. Well, you know what, William, don't give up. There's a lot of free softwares out there. It's fun and a Tinkercad that you could use to virtually design your own creations so long. This will help you practice your skills so you could have a head start one day.
I have a fair to stay tuned for some more pro apps I wanted to get you guys all started on 3D creations.
Next up, let's get some career hints and opportunities from our guests on today's show.
Let's go.
Let's go.
For bao ba ileng gore ba batla go ithutela 3D printing, like a saying by 3D printing is the future. Ntho ena e tswa mo ileng gore batho ba ileng gore ba entseng motho o designing this thing is a mechanical engineer. So you need to do mechanical engineering and then electrical for design, because we designed this thing, and computer programming.
If you want to do what I am doing now, you're going to have to do science and maths in high school. This is going to get you into varsity. Either you can become an engineer or a physicist. My choice was I became an engineer. I did electrical computer engineering at UCT in 2008, and now I'm here working at WITS doing my master's in physics. You all have the opportunity, you just got to work hard and make the right choices.
Now that you are into 3D modeling and drawing, Spacedraw is an Android app you should get your hands on. Ikuvumela ukuthi udraw noma yini from freehand lines to splines in 3D with multiple touch points, as well as multitude of shapes with different viewing options like wireframe and shading, along with different lighting settings. You'll be able to draw just about anything ongayicabanga with the tip of your fingers. For more info on this and other things on the show, check out our website with www.tomz.co.za and follow the links.
Another great episode to inspire new creative ideas. Let's recap all the amazing things that we learned today. We talked more about the science behind 3D printers and the various things it can make. A real 3D printer in action, some insight into the various functioning parts of the machine. We discovered the extraordinary technology of printing organs and food. We celebrated a cool South African wire artist, also Sandi skills to make a difference in the lives of those around him. We took a trip through the evolution of 3D printing to see how it has made its way to the technology to enhance the lives of those with disabilities. We explored useful applications that put 3D modeling at your fingertips. And we got some cool career advice from Bachaki Barona Bakacheko. So for more information, go to www.tomz.co.za and don't hesitate to give us a shout on Twitter and on Facebook. And that's our show, TOMz. Next time for more groundbreaking science and technology right here in Mzansi.
Until then, stay fresh. Next time on TOMz, discover the incredible world of e-learning. See the benefits of using an app to learn about math and science. And Slangana with a team who is making low-cost computers a reality. Tune in to TOMz every Monday and Tuesday at 4 p.m. only here on SABC 1, Mzansi Pashizo.